Good evening. I'm Wallace Bradley, and I'm the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also the president of United in Peace, Inc. Got a very interesting show. In case all of you don't know, let me let you know. There's a major debate, between Vice President Kamala Harris and Trump. And if I was sitting at ringside, I would be saying that the champ is here. But I'm gonna show you something and let you decide who you're gonna vote for. This show is being presented by United in Peace, Inc. The issues that I bring before you is with the help of the producer of this show, which is none other than the chairman of United in Peace, Inc. And that's Terry Marsh Bradley. Yeah, she's my wife. And yes, y'all know I'm blessed. But without further ado, I bring the show to you. So Sister Amani, let's go to work.
Many people have asked me what my position is on abortion and abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that. My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith. Do what's right for your family and do what's right for yourself. Do what's right for your children. Do what's right for our country and vote. So important to vote. This 50-year battle over Roe v. Wade took it out of the federal hands and brought it into the hearts, minds, and vote of the people in each state. It was really something. Now it's up to the states to do the right thing. Like Ronald Reagan, I am strongly in favor of exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. You must follow your heart on this issue, but remember, you must also win elections to restore our culture and, in fact, to save our country, which is currently, and very sadly, a nation in decline. Our nation needs help. It needs unity. It needs us all to work closely together. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, everyone, we have to work together. We have to bring our nation back from the brink, and that's where it is. It's at the brink, and we will. We will do it. I promise you, we will do it.
You know, this is a Gator fact check. The Democrats, or no one in their right mind, is talking about executing babies when they're born. But the most important thing is what he said out of his mouth. He is owning up to the fact that a 50-year law that gave the women the right to have say-so over their bodies, whether it was pro-choice or there was anti-abortion, the woman had a right. There was a law for 50 years. And he proudly say he was responsible for getting rid of that law. And he wants to be a dictator too now on the first day. So the choice is clear from a common sense approach. You're going to see for yourself. You've been seeing on the news. You've been hearing it on the radio. You've been hearing it on the talk shows. The difference between hate and joy. The individual who wants to be president so he can stay out of jail, and an individual that's asking America to elect her president so that she can be a president for all the people, not just a president for himself. The same Supreme Justice he put on the bench said that that man, if he become president, will have immunity. He will be the only one that do not have to obey the laws of the land. And this man is talking about getting rid of the Constitution. So this debate is going to be real interesting. After my show, I'm going to go somewhere where I can sit down and listen and relax. Might pop some popcorn. As I prepare to go to the Congressional Black Caucus in Washington, D.C. They just had the DNC here. And that was fabulous. For me to witness the young ladies, her nieces, to be brought up at the Democratic Convention. It gave dreams and aspirations to other young girls and young women. The young girls don't fully understand about their bodies. But the young mothers understand that they do not want their daughters, if they should get raped, not to have the right to have say-so over their bodies. When those two young ladies got up there, and they know how Trump played with her name, I don't know what he called her, and they got up, and it reminded me when I used to go to church, you have the pastor come down and he say, or at the choir, and he say, on this side, you say this, and on this side, you say that. And when the young ladies got up and say, at the Democratic Convention, this side says Kamala, and this side say La. Comma, La. Now let's all say it together. Kamala. And then I saw one of the most powerful pictures that a photographer had took. And it had one of the young ladies. They took the picture with her looking at her auntie. And all you saw was the young lady's head from the back with her little ponytail, looking up at the vice president. And knowing that she's being schooled, that Kamala is not the first woman that ran for president. She's not the first African-American woman that ran for president. So I can imagine the child saying, well, who did? And then she get a lesson about Shirley Chisholm. Then she get a lesson about Clinton. Then she get a lesson about Carl Mosley Brown. Just talking about the women. And then she found out about Jesse Jackson running twice. Then she found out about Barack Obama becoming the first African-American president. So now she knows I can't wait to vote. That DNC was so profound that the world saw, hey, we're no longer afraid of Trump. So they all became aware of what they got to do. That's why the debate gonna be powerful. One thing for sure, it won't be like the debate that Trump had with Biden. But if debates, so everyone got in their mind, makes a decision on who should be president. It reminds me how my mother used to always tell us, and our grandmothers, we're gonna tell you once, don't do something. And then the discipline in their mind where they come out and they have either that belt or that extension cord. Trump is gonna get a razor. Because everyone coming together, Republicans, conservative Republicans, everyone is saying enough is enough. You got everyone that's saying this man is a threat to America. So Sister Amani, bring that one up about Dick Cheney.
Senator, before I let you go, I do have to ask you about her recent endorsements by two people who are not progressives at all. Of course, I'm talking about Dick and Liz Cheney. This week, they said they're going to support her. They're going to vote for her. It's worth noting, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney voted with former President Trump more than 90% of the time, was quite critical when President Biden picked her as his running mate. Would you welcome seeing Liz Cheney out on the campaign trail?
Well, Kristen, what I think Dick and Liz Cheney are saying is that in this existential moment in American history, it's not just issues. Cheney and I agree on nothing, no issues. But what we do believe in is that the United States should retain its democratic foundations. And it's not just Cheney. I think there is a significant number of Republicans who say, well, you know, I may not agree with the vice president on this issue or that issue, but I cannot support somebody who's a pathological liar, somebody who fomented a insurrection to overthrow the election return. So I applaud the Cheneys for their courage in defending democracy. Obviously, on all the issues, we have very different points of view.
That's Bernie Sanders, the super liberal. And Liz Cheney and her dad, Dick Cheney, that was the vice president of under Bush, coming together to let America know for sure, and the world, especially Putin. You thought you had a Manchurian candidate by Trump that feel that he should be the king, like you feel that you the king. And you showed him, get control of the Supreme Court, because you have control over your Supreme Court. That's why Trump talk crazy like he talking, I'm gonna lock up everybody that's against me, because that's what Putin do. That's why Trump say he loved Putin, he loved the guy from China. He'd write love letters, man-pale letters to the guy in Korea. But for the sake of democracy within a republic, listen what I'm telling you, democracy within a republic. This country is known for having two parties, Democratic Party, Republican Party. They understand the art of compromise. They come together to pass bills to help America. They know that man Trump is a threat to America's national security. Dick Cheney was vice president. For Bush, Trump's vice president says, I'm not with him, Trump. And how could he be with him when during January the 6th, Trump had a mob talking about hang Pence and even had a gallows on the ground? To the point that Pence made the decision because he obeyed the Constitution. And when Trump saying, we got a car waiting for you, first thing that man said, man, I ain't getting in that car. Trump's own vice president knew that he was rotten to the core. And to add insult to injury, when the media says Kamala, this is the first time she would be face to face with Trump, when everybody know when they pass into power, they all come together. Trump didn't even go to the inauguration to pass the torch like Obama and Michelle came to his inauguration to pass the mantle on to him to represent this country. Trump did not come to Biden and Harris' inauguration to pass the torch. It's an insult to America. And he wants to be president again. And he wants total control. He already saying, if he don't win, it ain't happening. But you, President Trump, and all the MAGA candidates and the supporters, you got a right to do what you want to do. But when you see people like Sanders and Cheney pushing for Ms. Harris, Vice President Harris, and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz, America coming together. Sister Amani, play this last piece because I know I'm going to have to go because I want to be in place for the debate.
In this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? There are some people who think we should be a country of chaos, of fear, of hate. But us, we choose something different. We choose freedom. Freedom, freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. Freedom, freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too. The freedom not just to get by, but get ahead. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom to make decisions about your own body. We choose a future where no child lives in poverty, where we can all afford health care, where no one is above the law. We believe in the promise of America, and we're ready to fight for it. Because when we fight, we win. So join us. Go to KamalaHarris.com and let's get to work.
I'ma keep on running because the winner don't quit on themselves.
Joy and happiness. I'm saying vote, don't choke. It's in our hands as we the people. Be you Republican, Democrat, Independent, and some of you MAGA, because I know it's hard for y'all to sleep at night, especially the women and African American women that's supporting Trump. How can you look at your daughters? How can you push a man that feel if you get raped, you got to have that baby? And that Project 2025 got a plan in there where you were to go to another state to get an abortion, they're going to track you. Talking about the illegal migrants. They're going to track a woman because of her health or her choice. They want to state law. They want to punish the doctors that help the women because of their health. I just realized that I ain't anti-Trump, but I am pro-America. I believe in a republic that's fighting for democracy. This election is so important because we got to vote to make sure that we take the House of Representatives. That's defeating MAGA candidates. It's talking as crazy as Trump. Y'all seeing it? And that J.D. Vance, Lord, he wants to push that if the woman is in a marriage with an abusive husband, she cannot get out the marriage. I want you to understand me. I ain't saying he beat his wife, but what he said out of his mouth, I'm saying let us pray for his wife. For him to feel, he's the vice president. So if Trump was to become president and he have an aneurysm, this man become president. Enjoy the debate. Get educated. Vote early. Do your mail-ins. Senior citizens, we got to do what we got to do. I'm saying vote don't choke. I'm saying vote straight Democrat across the country, all races. It was a school board race, county board race, whatever the race it is. We got to bring it where there's a two-party, Republican and Democrat, representing the people's concerns. You got to vote, don't choke. And this November 5th election, 2024. Vote. To God be the glory. That's my story.